What's up, everyone?
Hi, everyone.
I'm Ron.
I'm Angela.
And this is
Chatter
Chatter of
of
Opinion. So today we have a scenario
Yes.
type podcast going on.
Yes.
There's a couple of videos that have been out dealing with the same issue, the same scenario. When it comes to who pays for what, when it comes to going out or being invited out for a meal.
So are we going to set the scene?
Yes, you can go ahead and set the scene.
Okay. So there may be a few scenarios that we're going to throw into this, but from our original post about it is if you're invited to a dinner, right, for a birthday celebration, and there's a group of you, like a handful of you, do you expect the person who invited you to pay, right? Or
Scenario scene is
no, let me finish.
Yeah, but yeah.
Or do you? So does that person pay, or do you go expecting to pay for yourself?
But what is a handful? You got to
Well,
be more
there's a
specific.
variety.
No,
That's what
no,
I
no,
just
no,
said.
no,
There's
no,
different
no.
scenarios.
No. You can't just say a handful because a handful could be
5, 6.
I got 2 hands. That could be 10 people. Would you expect to pay for 10 people?
No.
Okay, so
but
let's say there's a birthday party, right? You're having a birthday party, and
at a restaurant. Okay.
And you invite someone, the birthday girl's closest friends. Mm-hmm. Let's say about 3 closest friends, because the video that we saw had 3 close friends to the girl's birthday party.
Well, that's why I said a handful.
That's not a handful.
A handful is one handful, a handful.
Look at the midgets. You can't put one person in that hand.
Babe,
put your hand up again.
Stop.
Exactly.
I do have small hands, if you don't know, but
you better stop.
Babe, be serious.
Okay.
Handfuls are digits, not size of hand.
Let's say under 5 people. If you were invited to a party, it was a birthday party, and it was under 5 people.
At a restaurant.
Or you were inviting someone that you know, or you were having a party for someone that you know, a close friend, your significant other, whatnot, and there was at least under 5 people that you invite.
Okay.
Would you expect to pay for everyone at the restaurant? Would you invite them with the expectation of they're going to pay for themselves?
Okay.
Or does it depend on how many people are actually that you are inviting that you just automatically plan to pick up the tab?
Or should it be said at the invitation, like, hey, we're taking so-and-so out for her birthday. She wanted us to invite you. You're responsible for your own, and I'll take care of hers.
Right.
Okay, as someone who's been invited before, I go automatically assuming that I'm paying for myself. And then if they choose to pick up the tab, great. But if not, especially if it wasn't talked about, I'm going assuming I'm paying for myself.
Well, it just depends. Okay. When I look at it, right, on the receiving end, if somebody invited me anywhere, I'm going to assume that I'm paying for myself, unless I get invited to someone's house and it was like catered.
Right.
If somebody pays
or
for
they don't
catering,
say.
No, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So if they pay for catering and I'm invited to someone's house, then I automatically think that
you cover yourself.
They're going to cover it if I'm invited to someone's house. If I'm invited to go out to eat,
unless they say, "Hey, it's a potluck," or.
But then again, I'm bringing something. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but if I'm going out to eat, I automatically just think that I got it. That I'm going to take care of my own tab.
Okay.
That is my impression. I would not expect anyone to pay for me.
Yeah.
So what I would do in advance is I would look at the menu to see if wherever we're going is affordable for me.
Correct.
Right? Because I think
someone posted that on when you posted our commercial, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. Monica says, I always assume Dutch.
Okay. I would agree.
I'm with you. I assume Dutch unless someone tells me or pulls out and says, I got it.
If we're going out, if it's a going out type affair, I would agree. And my thing is, because Hennessy says I'm paying my bill, then I would agree with that. When you are invited someplace, you can't expect them to pick up your tab.
Mm-hmm.
Scenario was in this video. There's been a couple of videos that are out where this guy has a friend. I guess there was a family friend or whatever that it was her birthday.
Yes.
They went out to a restaurant.
And it seems like he's the one who invited.
Right.
Who kind of pulled
he put
it
it
all
together.
together.
Right. So they went out to a restaurant and he was married and whatnot. And he invited the friends to go. But
the birthday girl was not his wife.
No, the birthday girl was not his wife. So they invited friends to go, right? It was like 3 friends or whatnot.
Yes.
When the bill came out, he asked the waitress, can you separate this or split the check? He takes care of the birthday girl and his wife, and the rest of them have to figure out what they got to split the check.
No, they went in on him.
They said,
you're the only man here. You should be paying the tab.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they broke it down to the man. That's like, you're the only man at the table with a bunch of women. He should be paying it.
Ridiculous.
Now, the bill was $700 now.
Yeah.
$700. I don't know if they knew that he had it or not.
My question is, did you go in ordering whatever you wanted, assuming this man also had the tab?
Well, they went in ordering what they wanted because they thought that he was going to pay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, from the start.
A 700 tab with a handful of people.
It didn't matter what the tab was.
Well, I guess because we didn't know where they went.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what the tab was. They were not looking at the amount of what they were spending. They were just spending.
That's what I'm saying, because they thought that he was paying.
Yeah. So what is the proper thing to do? If you get invited to a birthday or get together at a restaurant, do you ask the question to the person that invited you, am I paying on my own?
Honestly, I feel like after this, where it's like lesson learned from other people. Okay. So I feel like after seeing this scenario, I think moving forward, if someone were to invite me or I were to invite someone, I would definitely ask for more clarification.
No,
I would.
I wouldn't.
I would rather the uncomfortable conversation of clarification than the uncomfortable conversation of who's gonna pick up the tab. I don't got it.
You always have it. You always.
No, I agree. I still assume, but I'm saying I don't want other people to come assuming I'm gonna get the tab if I'm inviting. Hey, it's my sister's birthday. I'm inviting you guys for dinner.
Okay.
Just FYI, I'll take care of her tab. You guys take care of your own.
Right. And that's what I said. If I'm inviting, let's say it's your birthday, right? And I'm inviting your close friends. Let's just say you have 2 close friends, right?
Okay.
And I'm inviting those guys for your birthday to a restaurant.
Yes.
I'll pick up the tab.
Okay. It's a little more intimate.
Right. But not just, intimate. It's just your 2 close friends. But if I'm inviting more than like 3 or 4 people and we're going to like a restaurant, like a top notch, I'll play it. Right. I'm not picking up the tab. I'm just inviting you. You can come if you want to, but come knowing that you're going to pick up your own tab.
But that's again assuming.
Well, hey.
Well, that's what the guy did.
And if it is, if so, and we get there, and you or one person can't pick up their tab because they can't afford it or whatever, I got you. But I'm not getting everyone. Or
I agree.
You ask that question.
Yeah.
If you can't afford it, you ask that question. Are we picking up our own tab or how's this working?
I agree.
Go ahead.
All right. I have a few comments. Meg Samora says, depends on their financial situation. And if I am told we got you covered. Our friends recently paid for all of us, 18 of us. And for my birthday in November, our bill was around $700. And we paid for 3 couples. No, I do not ask. They will tell me or offer. If not, if I can't afford to go, I don't go.
I agree.
Okay. And then Monica says, and always handles everything very professional. Thank you, girl. I will usually ask for a separate tab right away. And Crystal says, we have such a big family. I make sure to say you are welcome to come, but you're on your own.
Okay. Hennessy says, if someone invites me to eat, I don't ever assume my bill is going to be paid unless it's you or Angela.
No,
That sounds like Hennessy.
Yeah, okay.
When the waiter comes, that's when you determine whether you're splitting the check or if it's all on one bill. Right. And we've done that with the boys. Like when the boys go out, me and my boys go out or whatnot. Depends on who it is. We'll go out there and let's say we'll have a check.
Okay.
The check comes. It doesn't matter what's on the check, who ordered what. We'll just throw our credit card in and we'll just split it.
Yeah.
Right. Like if I go out with my boy Cal or whatnot and we eat or whatever, we drink, it doesn't matter what he got, what I got. We'll just split this in half or Pat, we'll just split this in half, 50-50. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I'm inviting you to a gathering, I'm inviting you to say, hey, we're celebrating someone else.
Yes.
Not that I'm paying for you to go celebrate somebody else. We're celebrating someone else.
Right. We're just inviting you if you want to come.
If I don't tell you that I'm going to pick up the bill, unless it's with Hennessy.
But some people do. Yeah, they assume.
Well, they do. But then again, you always supposed to be prepared.
I agree with that.
So
there was another scenario I just saw like today or yesterday where this guy says he went out and it was a big group of people and he knew the girl who invited him but didn't really like know the other people at the table. And he said he already knew it was going to be an issue.
Ooh.
So he got up to the bathroom, went to the waiter and asked for his tab and paid out, tipped out, whatever.
That's
and then when they got back, they were like, the person came and said, hey, who do I give this to? We can only take 2 checks or 2 like forms of payment.
Okay.
And the bill was $3,500.
Oh, I would have paid my bill.
So they were like, well, who's gonna like get it? We can just pay, whoever does it or whatever. And the guy said they were there for like another 30 minutes and no one like got the check. And then they started arguing about it. And then he's like, well, I'm going to go ahead and go. I have to go somewhere or whatever. And they were like, well, and he was like, I already paid for mine. I'm like, well, that doesn't sound right neither, because if now they're saying they only take 2, but yet you went and paid your own, they really didn't only take 2.
That's y'all problem there. Y'all worked that out. I paid mine at the bathroom.
You know what I mean? Like it can get really ugly and it can cause like friction between people. That's why I would rather just, especially moving forward, sometimes you shouldn't assume.
And it was the same way when I saw there was another scenario where a guy or a couple of guys went out and they met these young ladies. There was more ladies than there were guys. And they were drinking and having some stuff or whatever, but the guys were just having drinks. Everybody else was having like appetizers and stuff like that. And after the bill came, they said that it was the guy's responsibility to pay for the drinks and the appetizers and the food because they were guys at the table.
I
disagree with that too.
I do too. I don't know. I'm sorry if this opens up a whole nother can of worms, but women nowadays seem to just expect certain things.
Yeah,
and I don't think it's always fair.
I would agree, but then also agree that there are some guys that try to impress too hard and do things beyond their means to set that tone. Yeah, you deserve what you deserve as a person, period. But if I come and let's say I'm interested in you and I approach you at the bar, right? And it's you and your 5 girls, I don't feel obligated to pay your 5 girls, drinks. I'm interested in you. I ain't interested in them. You know what I mean?
I agree.
No.
And girls will try to do that. Oh, you're not going to take care of my girls? Nope.
No.
But then they think of you a certain way.
That's on them.
I hear you, but I'm just saying that is real life right now, buddy, in the dating scene.
Well, that's why I ain't dating, so
good job.
I'm good. Well, I'm good with that.
I don't know. I just feel like it should be, you should always assume and have enough for yourself. And I agree with Meg. Normally you would know where you're going, right? So do research ahead of time to say, oh, okay, I can afford this, or nope, I can't afford this place, right? Especially if you're on a budget.
Right.
So I think the research beforehand and, like I said, conversations need to happen.
And she says, but if you're a girl's girl, you better pay for my girls. What does that mean?
No, Hennessy.
I'm not paying for your girls. Okay. If she's saying that let's say it's you, right? And I met you at the bar, and you with your sister. Like, let's say
Mhm.
you with Crystal.
But that's one person.
Right. If I see you with one girl,
Yeah.
you know, your girl, you know, your bestie or whatever, I got you.
That's max $20.
Shoot.
The way drinks are, okay, Vegas, $30.
Okay. Yeah, but
you
if
know
it's
what I
one
mean?
girl or one guy or whatever,
right?
I'm cool. But if it's 4 or 5 of y'all and y'all
Yeah.
all got lemon drop shots and y'all talking about bringing these shots and they
Mhm.
$30, no, player. Y'all know what my pockets look like.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
but then unfortunately they judge you for it. It's like,
it doesn't matter if you're judging me because I didn't buy your girls some
Mhm.
drinks or whatnot, then I don't really need to be with you because that's petty.
I
What else
agree.
would you judge me on? You know what I mean? I would be like, nah, man. All right. If you judging me because I didn't buy your people some drinks, you don't know what my
Mhm.
financial situation is. I'm
Yes.
stretching to buy your ass a
Oh,
drink,
correct.
and then all of a sudden you want
Because
me to
I
come out the
like
pocket?
you.
Yeah, nah, man. Then I'm just gonna press.
Have you ever been in that scenario where it was like an uncomfortable setting like that or conversation?
I've only been in that situation once where I was trying to talk to this girl.
Mm-hmm.
She was cool, and we were vibing, and then her girl came, and she was stank.
Stink, like she
Like
smelled?
she had an attitude. She was just she killed the
Oh,
vibe or whatever. She
yeah.
was stank. I did not want to buy her a drink.
Okay.
Right?
So you didn't.
I did.
Oh.
Because I tried to see.
You were trying to impress old girl.
No, I was trying to say I'm the better person. Even though you stink, you ain't gonna ruin the mood. And then she gonna order some $20 drink that they had to set fire to.
That was probably more expensive than the girl you liked.
Yeah. They were setting fire to it and doing some stuff to
Yeah.
it. I'm just like, all right then, man, whatever.
Well,
yeah. And that never
you should have
panned out.
spoken up.
I didn't, but whatever.
I don't think I have ever run into that.
Because women you don't normally have to fit the bill for guys, though.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I have with family, unfortunately, where we were like, hey, we're going to go to this place,
Okay.
but they make you prepay. I'll go ahead and cover it, but you guys need to pay me back. Didn't see nothing. Showed up. They showed up, but they didn't pay me.
See, that's why the group of friends, the circle of friends that we have, I really appreciate you guys because we do like the BJ's things or whatever, and we'll put it on our credit card or whatever, and then they just pay us back and so forth. We never had any issues with anybody, not paying their portion of what they partake
Not at all.
So, but when it comes to the dating scene,
but you also are like, hey, here's your portion, blah, blah, blah. Like it's understood.
Well, I don't even have to do that because they will ask, like, how much is this?
They
how
will.
much do I
hey,
owe
what's
you?
my part?
Yeah,
I agree.
And in that case too, it's like, all right, here's what the tally is, and you get me whenever you get me. You know what I mean? I'm not saying, hey, your portion is $100 and then you got to pay me by like today or whatever. I don't do that. You know what I mean? You get me back when you get me back. You know what I mean? So that's how.
So what happens, say that one with the birthday girl and the guy and the wife or whatever, like those girls, that looked like they were getting up off the table. So the guy probably ended up having to pay.
Probably so. And in that case, if you are inviting and you think that there's going to be an issue, you better make sure that you can cover it too, because
or at least even up front, like when they start taking your orders. I do that at work because
up front, but you got to put somebody on blast up front though.
Why? I'm just like, hey, I'm on my own ticket.
Why not? When you sit down, you tell the waiter,
right? When they start like taking even drink orders, hey, do you need us to let you know who's on what ticket now? You could say something to that effect. So then, right away, as a conversation before you start ordering, so that you understand before the order and the $700 hits.
Yeah.
Right.
So
like, hey, how do you guys separate checks here? Is it a one payment is allowed, or can we split?
So
and then at that time, those girls could have been like, what do you mean? Aren't you paying for us? And then at that time, you could have said no and not walked out with the $700
So then
payment.
what if you said that, right? And then these girls or whatever at that in this particular scenario says, oh, I thought you had it. Since you don't, we out. And they came for her birthday.
Bye. At least I'm not coming out my pocket $700.
Okay, yeah.
No, you don't agree? You would still cover it? You're too nice.
I'm not going to
You are
cover it,
too
but my
nice,
thing
Ron
is, if
Tribble.
that's the case, and I know somebody's going to act that way, or if I'm going to put it out there that I'm on a separate tab to begin with, I'm going to put that out there before you even show up to the restaurant.
That's what I'm saying. To me, the conversation should happen at the invite.
Yeah, Hennessy says, I think it's just a part of communication and maturity, and I would agree with you on that. The sense of understanding when you are invited to a gathering or a birthday party, you should already know what you're getting involved in.
But again, I still think you should always assume you got yourself, that you have to cover yourself. And if they pay, great. If not, you got to cover yourself.
I'm so curious on how many people just show up at like a birthday party and just start ordering stuff. You know what I mean? Just start ordering food.
Yeah.
I was in a situation where that did happen with a guy though. Like, person showed up or whatever, and then he just started ordering, and then he didn't have like no money.
Yeah.
But he was the only person that was ordering.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He was ordering food and stuff. He was the only person that was ordering. And then when the check came, he ain't reaching his pocket to get
at all.
Nothing. Yeah. And I don't know how you do that.
I think because people have let him before.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Right? He's like, they're not willing to have the uncomfortable conversation. So let's see. Natasha says, always assume I'm paying for myself. Meg says, can't afford to go, then don't go. Enough said.
Yeah, but some people take advantage of that situation. They take advantage. You are
yes,
right.
They do.
Right, and
I
can't
agree.
afford to go.
And then there's those people who don't even only take advantage of someone paying, but they like take advantage.
Yeah,
like,
they'll show up knowing that you got me. I said, Angela always got me. So I know if I show up with no funds, I know my girl Angela got me.
Yeah, my name's not Angie. Thank you, though.
No, just in general.
No.
Angela.
That's the worst name you could call me.
But that's how some people do. You know, they show up just thinking that they're going to be
assume.
Covered. Yeah.
See, me, people who do that, I'm sorry, I may be a bitch like that, but I will teach them a lesson.
Okay, so we'll ask that question to you guys. In this situation, if you get to a spot and you have no intentions on paying for individual meals, how do you handle that situation? Do you let them know ahead of time that they're responsible to pay for their own meal? You just assume that they are going to pay for their own meal, or how is it?
So you're saying if you're the one inviting?
If you're inviting people, normally in an invite situation, and let's say, let's keep it under 5 people, do you let people know it's on them, or do you just assume that they automatically know that it's on them? What do you guys think?
Meg says, then stop getting them.
Getting what?
Like if you're like, how you said with your friend, I said, well, he does, that person does it because you guys just continue to get them, right?
Yeah.
So she's saying, then stop getting them.
I would agree.
That's what I'm saying is I tend to teach people a lesson because you're not going to take advantage of me. Right. That's just,
like I said,
Crystal says, let them know up front.
But when?
At the invite.
You let them know?
At the invite, yes. I will let them know at the invite.
So, Crystal, my question to you is, the last time you invited people out, I don't know when that was, did you let them know from the start that they were paying their own bill? I don't think people do that. I don't think when you invite people to functions or events, unless it's a pay to get in, I don't think normally you tell people that you're going to be paying for your own tab.
You know what? If I wasn't good at doing that before, after this scenario, I probably will moving forward.
I'm telling you, I don't think I would.
I will.
I don't think I would.
Especially if it's like, we know our friends, we know how it works and we're good. But if it's like maybe people we're not too familiar with, I would totally.
Yeah, but we don't really do things with people we're not too familiar with.
Well, like I've gone with coworkers before, and it's just a casual invite. Hey, we're going to go to Taco Tuesday. Do you want to come? Sure.
And they think that you're going to pick up the tab?
No, I'm just saying I don't go assuming they're going to pick up the tab.
Yeah.
Right? I assume I'm going to pay for myself. Granted, I fortunately have very giving coworkers, so they always normally pick up the tab anyways, but I always go when they invite, assuming I got myself.
I would agree. And I'm the same way. No matter what I do, no matter where I go, I always got mines. You know what I mean? I'm the type of person that when you're trying to pick my tab up, I'm like, nah, I don't want you to pick my tab up. I got me. You know what I mean?
Ron did that recently. My boss came into town and we took her out. Well, we went to dinner with her beforehand. Granted, she stayed here at our house with us. And yeah, so we went to dinner before our Christmas party for work. And she wanted to pay for dinner, huh?
Yeah.
And her and Ron, I said, y'all can fight over that.
No.
I'm not gonna. Did she ended up paying though, right? She got the check first, didn't she?
I think, yeah, when I was distracted, she got the check.
She got paid, she already had her card out, actually.
Yeah.
Ron was like, you're sneaky.
Yeah. No, I just don't like for people to pay for me. You know what I mean? I got me. I got me. You know what I mean?
I'm also big on if, like, I don't know, a lot of times at work, you know, everyone will be, hey, I'm going to go to so-and-so. Do you want me to pick you up something? If I don't have cash on me, do you have Venmo or whatever? And if they don't, I'll always say, okay, I got you on the next one. And then after that, I literally bug them to, hey, let's go to lunch. I got you. Cause I want to like pay my debt. Yeah. I just don't want to. I have such bad memory, you guys. If you don't know, my memory is shot. Anyways, it is though. But so if I don't get it out of the way, I don't want to forget that I owe these people.
And I hate owing people.
Correct.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what it is. I hate to have that on me that I owe you $5 or $10 or whatever. So normally I'm the one that if you're going to pay me back, if there's money involved, you're going to pay me versus me pay you.
So do you think the impression of those girls was a good impression? Like, I didn't really go too far into like the comments. Like, were people on their side, or were they like, how dare you just go in and assume this?
Well, I don't know. And I can't really judge the women that were at the table at that time because I don't know their background. Okay. Like, we have a group of people that we hang out with. We do things with, like, you know, often. Every month or, you know, often or whatever. It could easily be at times where we pick up the check or they pick up the check or they do, you know, we take turns. It could have easily been that scenario. And then in this particular instance, they thought that he was going to pick up the check and he didn't. You know what I mean? So I don't know the background of that. I just know
of all of their relationships.
Right. I just know he invited the people and then they expected him to pay the $700 tab.
I agree with you. I think where I'm hung up with on that specific video is that they kept saying, because you're the man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just think that's, I don't know what the word is, not self-centered, but it's like entitled.
Well, sometimes.
Because I don't know. I don't get it.
If you look at what society looks as a true gentleman, when you invite someone out, especially if you're a man and you invite someone out, it's your responsibility to, I guess, kind of pick up the tab. I guess. However, that's a one-on-one situation. If I ask you out on a date, I'm picking up the tab.
Some people nowadays, you see men where they're like, don't expect me to pick up the tab.
I got you. Okay. But that's the new age folks. Old school wise, if I ask you out, I'm interested in you. I'm getting you out of the house. I'm getting you to alter your time for me. No matter if I like you or not. If I ask you out, I'm picking up the tab.
But if a woman asks you out, then you expect her to pick up the tab?
If she asks me out.
You expect it's a possibility.
Hold on. If she asks me out, right? And the check comes, I would offer to pay the tab.
You would?
Yes.
Even though she invited?
Even though she asked me out.
Okay.
Right? If she refuses, because, you know, the whole independent woman thing, I invited you. Okay, I got you. Next time, I got it. You know what I mean? But
did you pay on our first date? I think you did.
Yeah, you ain't girl. You
but I invited though.
It don't matter. It don't matter. You know what I mean?
I think you did though.
Yeah. I just don't think it's right for me to sit there as a man and be able to afford a meal, both of our meals, and allow you to reach into your pocket to pay for my meal.
Yeah.
No, not saying that you're less than, not saying that you don't work harder than me or whatever. I just think it's a man's responsibility to pay the tab.
Well, clearly they thought it was a man's responsibility to pick up the tab.
No, not with a group.
I'm just saying.
No, not with a group.
So I think we can all learn a lesson here that better communication, whether you're the invitee or the inviter,
Okay.
The conversation needs to be had up front.
Well,
yes.
I
Again, I would rather have the uncomfortable, if you assume it's uncomfortable, conversation, and not even conversation, but statement. Hey, we're going out. Everyone pays for themselves. And they make a decision to go or not go. Rather than after a $700 ticket comes and there's that awkward conversation.
I don't know how you would put that out there to the universe, though.
Sorry, it's simple. I don't understand why you think it's so hard.
You've never done it before.
Says who?
You, that owl.
I feel like I have.
When?
I have, like, with my cousins when we went recently on our cousins weekend. I invited,
but how many
I'm like,
cousins
hey,
did you have though?
What? There was like 6 of us,
and
7
where did y'all
of us
go?
For a weekend.
You wasn't picking up the tab for the weekend.
No, but still, I'm just saying the conversation, or even when we went to dinner.
Nobody asked.
Nobody asked.
Up the tab. They already knew
that they were paying for themselves.
Yeah, nobody asked. Normally, when you go out to an establishment and you get invited, normally, and it's in a group, and you know that you're in a group chat or a group message or a group invite, you don't ask. You automatically assume that you paying for your own meal.
I hear you, but what I'm saying is because it was a whole weekend thing, I feel like I was like, hey, do you guys want to go here? Here's the price of this, blah, blah, blah. Like, just clear about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or I believe when we did Crystal's dinner forever ago when her and Patrick first got together, and we invited even our friend Greg from college, and he had his girls, and it was like all of us. You don't remember that?
Where was I?
We went to Elephant Bar.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Like the invite, like say it up front. I don't understand why it's so hard to say that.
I think it's so hard to me because I think it should automatically be assumed that you're paying for your own meal.
You know what they say about people who assume.
Yeah.
And then there's an awkward conversation and people get up and walk out, and then they leave this poor guy with a $700 bill.
Yeah.
Right? Because in the end, he's the one who invited, and unfortunately, he's the one who got stuck with that $700 bill.
No, I'm telling.
Telling what?
Names. It was Angela Rodriguez Tribble right there. She walked out. There was this person right here. She walked out. There was this person. You dine and dash. I'm paying for mine.
So
you dine and
if
dash.
anyone is a waitress or waiter here, do you go after who's last, or do you take names to go chase them down?
You can't.
How are you going to chase them down?
Because I can pay for what I had.
I hear you, but
and I'm giving you that person's name on who didn't.
But what are they going to go do? Google them? Call the police and give them their name?
Yeah. That's a dine and dash. That's a misdemeanor right there, right?
Crystal, shut the hell up.
What does she say?
Crystal says Angela will be like, you owe me $22.51.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Growing up, me and Crystal, we always exchanged money. And I'm in the accounting business, guys. I am financial. I'm all money, right? And so when we were young, I literally would be like, hey, you owe me $32.59.
Don't even round it up to the nearest dollar.
$32.59. So now Crystal will not let me live that down.
She's looking for pennies over in her house and stuff.
Crystal was such a brat that, like, for a while she would be like, make it work. Oh, she would like short me and be like, make it work.
I don't understand. I don't understand as a waiter, and I don't know how it happens that if people walk out and you're in a party, you can't hold me reliable for what other people ate. I did not partake in their meal.
Reliable or liable?
Liable.
Liable. Yeah, that didn't sound right.
Yeah, liable for what other people 8.
8.
I'm paying for my
I really
portion.
want to
I
know
have
if
this,
anyone
this, and
is a
this.
waitress or waiter. I want to know what happens if there's a group of people and they walk out.
Because the waiter normally knows what you have.
I hear you.
Right. So then
But I
I'm going
want
to
to
pay for
know
what I have.
what happens. I don't know. Do you know for certain that that's what they do?
I've never been
Exactly.
a waiter or waitress before. So
Elma says, depends on wording during invite. If it's a special day, if can't pay for group, say going Dutch. So leave up to individual or say we are treating everyone. I agree, Alma. What?
I don't know. Hennessy said, if it's all on one bill, I think it doesn't matter. Somebody's got to pay.
I hear you.
But she doesn't know. Yeah, but that's why I'm telling what the dude said, split the check. He didn't say it's all on one bill. He said split it up.
But okay, but there are
are
restaurants who say we only allow one bill, especially if it's like over a certain amount of people.
Okay, in that case, then if they only allow one bill, if I'm the host, I'm going to let people know, look, they only allow one check. So then when the check comes, you mark down what you have, and then you owe me this amount of money. But I'm not coming out of my
guess
pocket.
that's another situation of how you receiving payment.
Yeah, because my boss did the same thing when we went to a couple of parties. Yeah, we had X amount of people at the party. He put it on his credit card, and we just paid this dude
what we owed.
Yeah, what we owed.
He probably, I think, made out though with way more.
He probably did because people round up the whole 9 and then gave him a little bit of extra. But yes.
Yeah. So anyways, I thought this was interesting. I told Ron this is what I want to do the podcast about. Because I just thought like the goal of these people to just go and assume this poor man is like responsible to pay for this bill.
$700.
And it seemed like because they thought he was paying that, they kind of like were very laxed in what they were ordering.
And then one of the girls said, stop being cheap.
Yes.
It was $700 for a bill.
Stop being cheap.
Said, stop being
$700.
Like,
are you kidding me? I just anyways, I just wanted to talk about this. Oh, Crystal says, in a group setting, everyone should just pay for themselves. Again, yes, Crystal, but there's times where they're like, we only allow 1 or 2 payments. So you got to figure it out.
In this case, I don't think that was the scenario.
It wasn't. They just expected that poor man to pay.
Man to pay the whole $700 because he invited them, and he was the only man that was out. Which was ludicrous to me. I don't know how you would come up with that. I wish somebody would tell me I had to pay a $700 tab just because I'm a man and I invited you out.
Yeah, I think that's kind of, anyways. So this one to me was fun. It was very intriguing to me. Lesson learned to either have a conversation up front, make sure you assume you're paying for yourself, or have the uncomfortable conversation if you're the invitee.
You might
or inviter.
Yeah, you might have to have that uncomfortable conversation, or just let it be known without it being an invite situation. When you get together with your people, just say, hey, man, if I invite you guys out, this is what it's going to be. Versus at the restaurant itself saying, hey, split up this check.
Which is before.
Yeah. Yes. I'm saying even before the invite.
I would rather be like, do the before.
This is how I roll. I invite you guys to certain events, but I'm not paying.
Yeah.
So
okay, let's do this scenario real quick. Say, okay, we have our daughter Hennessy, and say she had a group of friends, and we said, hey, it's Hennessy's birthday, we're gonna go to this restaurant. She asked us to invite 3 girls, right? So you just wouldn't say something, especially if Hennessy's
depends on 2 things. What you said was 3 girls. I would look at that, and then I would look at where we're going.
Okay.
Right, and then I look at what they're.
Okay, let's say 5 girls. Just to make it to where it's that borderline where, I may not be able to afford it.
Even if it's the 5 girls, I would look at the dynamic on who she's inviting, right? Or where we're going. And mentally, I'll have in my mind that it's going to be about this much. If I think that I can cover that, cool.
Okay. But again, I remember Zaylen when he was young and we would be going somewhere. Can I invite so-and-so? Yep, but make sure he has his own money. Like I would tell him up front so he could tell his friend. Or I wouldn't say anything, right? And then I would get it. But if, again, me, I would rather the uncomfortable conversation up front. So say Hennessy, if she was like a little younger, so what if these young girls came assuming it was covered and they don't have the money? Say they're 16, 19.
Well,
and they just come because, oh, her dad invited us.
So then I would say to Hennessy at that time, I would say,
know.
well, yeah, I would say one or the other. Either you knock off a couple of friends and I got it, or you can add these extra friends,
but let them
and you have to let them know that they got to bring their own money.
Yeah.
Because there's been times when I had birthday parties or birthday get-togethers here, we had Crack and Crab, and we paid for the whole thing. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
But there was only a few people that came.
Shoot, how many people?
Well, it was
So we're paying hundreds of dollars or whatever for that, and we didn't ask nobody to chip in or this, that, and the other. Right.
But we did it up front and told them
that we were hosting. We're just going to host, come over and break bread with us. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, but if I'm taking somebody somewhere, then yes, I'm definitely letting them know if it's over a certain amount of people. But Hennessy says, but I wouldn't expect you to pay for my friends, though. I would expect my friends to know to pay for themselves. Yes.
Alma says, ask up front about bill, or ladies by themselves divide up evenly to the penny, or say put half on this card and the other half. Most places will split ticket. Most places will, but some will not.
Yeah, just like when I went to when Sidelines was open, and we used to go there for the thing that Cal used to have. I forget. He always got selected for it, and he would have like some randos there, and we would say, hey, let's get like a 30 or 40 or 50 piece wing or whatever. They'd bring the wings out, and then once the bill came, we would just give them the credit card and say, hey, just split this in half. No matter if it's 2 of us, 3 of us, whoever was getting down on it, we'll just split it evenly amongst all of us. And they could have done that with the $700, but them girls weren't trying to pay nothing.
They were not.
They were trying to eat for free.
Alma says it's also a generational thing. Crystal, one time your Aunt Ida said, I'll pay you with my postal stamps, the 60 cents that I owe. She was short 60 cents, so she said, I'll give you a stamp to cover my part. That's funny.
Well, all righty then.
Anyways, all right, guys, that's it for today's episode. This was the start of our season 2.
Start of season 2.
Again, we hope to have a lot of exciting new topics and some guest speakers. And what do we say? Trivia. Angelique says, play Russian roulette with the credit card. Oh.
No, not with $700.
Decline.
Not with $700.
Anyways, we're here every Thursday, 6 p.m. Mountain Time.
As a matter of fact, Angelique got us when we went, right? And then the next time we got them. You know what I mean? So it kind of works that way. Appreciate that. Good meal. Angelique,
it was
Josh.
A good meal.
Yes. But yeah, so like she said, every Thursday at 6 o'clock Mountain Time, make sure you join us. We have a phone number that's listed on there too, which is 505-575-2484.
Yep.
You can actually call in and we'll put you live onto the podcast.
Yeah, come conversate with us, guys. I know y'all just don't like to hear us talk.
I know. We want to hear your voice. We want to hear you guys chime in. If you want to be a guest speaker and you have a topic that you would want to cover, let us know. If you have a business that you want to promote as well, when I edit it, we can discuss how we can promote your business as well. So
definitely
make sure you reach out to us every Thursday. You can reach out to us beforehand, whether you message Angela or myself on either Facebook Messenger or send us a text or whatnot if you want to be highlighted or covered in one of these podcasts.
Yes.
But we really appreciate all of you guys' support. Season 1 was real interesting. We had a blast doing season 1.
Lots of lessons learned.
Yep. New year, new view. Season 2 should be just as exciting. So we really appreciate your support.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks,
so until next week, we'll holler at you.